Hello all, this is J.R. Knowles again. As much as I promised a friend of mine that I wouldn't make him angry with any more of my posts and video, I'm sorry I can't keep my promise. There's an insanity going on in the world. Excuse me for my reading glasses, but guy in Colorado decides to go out and prove to the world his genius in being able to plot the murders of innocent people. His genius, and I'm sure his attorneys will be pleading for his madness, as if this wasn't planned. I guess to booby trap an apartment with that extent is not planned. Even our most experienced people couldn't unbooby trap the apartment without taking days to unravel the mystery of what was pre-planned by this maniac. And yes, we have madness in Colorado, we have madness all over the United States, but more importantly, we have complete madness at the UN. Recently at the UN, it was noted that Ahmadinejad, the president of Iran, had recently been appointed to the Council on Women's Rights. Bill Maher, where are you now? This is a comedy beyond epic proportions, and you should be home back on HBO talking about it. Here is a man who is being appointed to the Women's Council on Civil Rights of Women in the UN. It's like having Hannibal Lecter plan your menu for a party of 12 friends. It's like having Rabbi Itzhak invited to a pig roast at your house. I'm sure there are more comparisons I could come up that are as ridiculous as having President Ahmadinejad present himself as a council member on women's rights for the world. Does anyone understand the seriousness of this appointment? I want to quote to you something that was written. Because Iran has one of the worst air disaster records in the world, guess who they blamed? Iran is one of the worst civilian air safety records in the world, thanks in part to U.S. sanctions that have left the country's civilian aviation fleet in disrepair. Oh, I didn't realize we were responsible for crazy people developing aircraft and nuclear weapons so that they can come and use them as human targets against the rest of the world. Of course, the U.S. is responsible for leaving them in disrepair. Hallelujah. Then, by a letter to the editor from David S. Cohen, Undersecretary of Terrorism and Financial Intelligence, Department of Treasury, in Washington on July 15, 2012, the following was stated. First, Iran Air is not simply a passenger airline. Rather, Iran Air provides material support to two organizations deeply involved in Iran's weapons proliferation. Second, because we care about civilian flight safety, we have issued licenses to allow for the inspection, and in previous years, also the repair, of Iran's civilian aircraft, so long as those services were performed outside Iran, so the parts and services could not be misdirected to Iran's military aircraft. Forgive us for being slightly suspicious, Iran. To our knowledge, the Iranian government, which controls Iran Air, never took advantage of these licenses. So now I ask, whose responsibility is it? We gave you the opportunity to have these licenses for safety checks, for repairs, just simply outside of your government, outside of your land and territory. What did you think? We would plant a nuclear bomb in your aircraft? Oh well. Now a note directed toward this commentary states that crucial facts are not part of this letter. What could be more crucial than the fact that Iran is allowed to participate in a UN Council, yet they will not obey any sanctions directed by the anchor powers of the UN to disarm from nuclear power? We still really believe that Iran is developing nuclear power to generate heat? It's just unbelievable to us. This is not child's play, folks. This has been going on for several years at our expense. Furthermore, a more incredible announcement that I found out today is that, as I mentioned earlier when I started this video, that Iran is heading up the Council for Women's Rights. This proves to us that insanity does not exist just in Colorado. Insanity exists worldwide. As sad as I am about the devastation to those victims, innocent victims in Colorado, may God rest their soul, and I do pray for them, and the insanity that plagues the world. I ask you as viewers to wonder about the further insanity that threatens all of us, and that is the Middle East. We allow these people to take rights, to take advantage of free speech. Give example, Ahmadinejad. Free speech in the UN. Why? He doesn't allow his people free speech. He doesn't allow women free speech. In fact, women are so secondary, they're brutally mutilated so that they can't enjoy anything in life after that, aside from the mental cruelty that's put upon them by this mutilation. Most of them, I'm sure, would rather be dead. How would you like to live like that? I ask you people to just think, ladies especially. We've allowed a mass murderer of Colorado to appear in our theaters. And now we're allowing a mass murderer to appear on the world stage. His name is Ahmadinejad. This is the theater of our lives. And in his name, Ahmadinejad, the president of Iran, I want to know, First Lady Obama, what do you have to say about this matter? This is the great American Bitchoff. I'd like an answer. Somebody give us an answer why we allow this monster, like we did Hitler, to brutalize innocent people, and we sit back and pontificate about the facts of, it's like playing tennis with an egg. How absurd is that thought? That's how absurd this entire thing is. Thank you for listening. God bless.